welcome to my vlog segment. I'm really glad you could join me. I have a lot of different things to cover, and so if you have a specific piece of news that you're interested in, I will try to put some information down below the video where you can kind of hop into different parts of the video that you might be interested in. Otherwise, if you want to stick with me throughout the whole thing, I got a lot of things to share. First thing I'm going to share with you is we have three winners of our vlog hop for 2018. We do these every year, and we have had the support of jerrysartorama.com for every one of these blog hops going back 8 years now. And every year we select at random who the winners are for the e-gift card awards. And these are done, as I said, randomly. And what happens is that it's a ride, because what happens is you start off at one destination, and every time we send everyone to a new destination, then you pick up some secret words. And when you put all the words together at the very, very end of the vlog hop, then you send them in, and we select from that group. We select at random 3 winners. And so the first job was to collect all of the words in the hop, and the second job was to get picked. So we have 3 winners. Gloria, and I'm not going to use last names only because just for privacy, but Gloria, and she already knows she's won. She's won $150 shopping at jerrysartorama.com. We have Christine, and she won $75 for shopping at jerrysartorama.com. And we have Sharon, she's our third prize winner, and she has $25 in e-gift card credit to shop at jerrysartorama.com. So, yay! Good for you ladies. I'm really, really happy for you, because I know how much fun it is to win. And not only to win, but to be able to buy things that you enjoy, which are art supplies. So along that line, I wanted to let you know that whenever I get new art supplies, I usually don't share with you when I've ordered them, and I usually just like put them in a video or share with you what I'm making. But I have some boxes behind me, and these boxes, if you can see them, a couple of these boxes are art supplies that I've ordered, and I want to open them with you. And then I have another little surprise up here, which is coming soon, and when I open this coming up soon, I'll tell you about that, because this is going to be something that somebody's going to win. And so this is to come. We're going to have a box opening, and we're going to have a little informational on a really cool prize giveaway. That's coming up. So back to our theme. I wanted to talk a little bit about this year's theme, which is Native cultures, Southwestern style art, colors of the Southwest, Western styles, cowboys, cowgirls. And what I did is I asked instructors if they wanted to participate. They could come up with their interpretation of these themes. And so some of them had incorporated this in their classes with us this year, and I'm very excited about that. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my own experience with Southwestern culture and Southwestern art. I lived in the desert for a period of time, and coming from the climate of California, which is where I spent most of my life, when I had moved to the desert, it was a completely different feeling. The color of the sky, the brightness of the day, the landscape, the mountains, the rocks. There was just a completely different vibe and a whole different feeling, which was in and of itself very inspiring. California, you have a lot of greenery, and you have scenery, and you have the landscapes of the beaches and the mountains, and you would think that is everything packed into one place. But really, the desert has its own beauty, and I was really glad that I would have an opportunity to just kind of dive into this for this theme. what I did in one of our classes to tie it in was I am making these bracelets here, which you can tell just by the colors, you know, the desert colors, the warmth and energy of the cactus colors. And so I'm incorporating them in bracelets and in leather, painted leather, and I've incorporated a little bit of these face cabs. That these are created by Lynn Belisle, and she's a fabulous artist. She's in Texas, and she creates these ceramic faces, and I wanted to incorporate them in my art because they do have that whole feeling that, you know, just, ooh, I just love it. I've taken some of Lynn's classes, and that would include, you know, creating these different face cabs on your own and learning how to do that. And also Lynn creates them and she also sells them. So that theme is a big part of this year's presentations. Griselda Tejo, she is also doing a class with creating spirit dolls. And we have themes with jewelry and painting, all different media, because I want to be able to give everyone an opportunity to get steeped and introduced into these different art mediums. Because there isn't just one. It's not just painting, it's not just drawing. The experience of learning how to do different things is really very, very special. And that brings me to something I wanted to share with you that I created a long time ago. Now, this is really near and dear to my heart. This whole theme has a very special significance to me. And that is that when we did move to the desert, my daughter was very, very young. And I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, which I absolutely adored the job of raising my children. But one thing that I did in the very quiet moments of my free time was I did cross-stitching. Mentally, it gave me an escape from, you know, just the everyday stresses of life. Emotionally, I always found that it was very calming and very relaxing, the repetitiveness of it, following a chart, you know, having everything laid out. There was not a lot of, you know, I didn't have to put a lot of decision making into what I was doing, and still it was very, very creative and very relaxing. And this story is very important to all of this, and I'll explain why. So if I don't get too much glare, this is a beautiful cross-stitching work that I did. And this was, like I said, when my daughter was young. Now, I had learned to cross-stitch from a woman who literally I met in a typing class. This was so long ago. I was learning actually how to type on a typewriter, and I wanted to get really super fast at it. And so I had met this woman, and she would bring her cross-stitching with her so that after she had a break from the class, that she would take out all of her cross-stitching materials, and she would just, you know, in between breaks, she would work away. And I showed and expressed an interest and asked her a lot of questions about what she was doing, and she invited me to her home, and she literally taught me how to cross-stitch. And the funny thing about this is that I thought that I understood how to cross-stitch. It seemed very, you know, like straightforward. You know, you have a needle, you have a chart, you have your cloths, and you have the different size squares. But when I sat down with her, no, there was a whole way to do this, and lots of very specific rules that made my work go from really okay to amazing. You would be surprised at how to, and many of you who cross-stitch know that there's a specific way to work in the direction that you're going so that your stitches are even, and so the work is very clean. There's information about needles, there's information about the cloth, how you finish off the back of your work when you're working with different threads. And I was amazed because I knew that I would never learn this in a book. I knew that I would never learn this with the directions that came with the little packages. And pretty soon, you know, that was sort of the beginning of when I realized that there is a different way to learn. And that is from people who have become very practiced in what they're doing. And for me, this was a beautiful way to learn any type of art or craft, was sitting right next to the person who's been doing it for years. And not just that, but to a person who is so passionate about what they're doing. And here's an example. On the back of my work is an envelope. And this goes back, I would have to say, my daughter was 4 years old at the time. And you're going to smile. I wrote her a 2-page letter, and it's been on the back of my work since I have this framed. Because the gal who taught me how to cross stitch told me that when you create a work like this, you want to record what you put in for hours, how long did it take you to make it, why you made it, what the inspiration was, the date, and that made the entire work very, very special. And so this became something that I dedicated to my daughter, and it has a lot of meaning as to what the desert meant for us, why we moved there, and what life I hoped that she would have as she grew up from a baby in my arms. And so this had amazing meaning to me. And this is what I hoped to carry through everything that I created and everything that I made, is that I wanted there to be a passion and a meaning behind it. So with that said, that explains a little bit to you about why there's so much meaning in this particular theme for me, and also why there is so much meaning in what Artful Gathering is and what we do. Many of you know it's a lot of work, but with the work is a passion, and there is that passion of bringing everyone into the classroom. Even though we're virtual, it doesn't really matter. In this situation, you are in the front row seat. So I hope you take that with you, and I hope that you take that with you with the different classes and the gifty classes that I have for you this year. We are going to make some stacking bracelets. And normally when you make tribal bracelets such as these, many of you may have seen these before. You can use a lot of your de-stash. You can, you can go through what sort of stuff you have on hand. But I didn't just exclusively do that. I actually went to a local bead shop that we have here, and I really intentionally chose different colors and types of beads that I wanted. Now, I have a bag of them, and I have all of the things that I've chosen and selected for the projects that I'm going to share with you. But like I said, they're not just my de-stash stuff. So I put thought into, what kind of beads and different elements I wanted to add to them. The other one is the stack of the sculpted bracelets, and these are entirely sculpted from clay. Actually, I shouldn't call it clay. These are sculpted entirely from Abe's epoxy sculpt, and I'm going to show you how to make these, because these, you really got to see them on, because they mix so beautifully with all of the different bracelets that I'm demonstrating. If I had been given more than 2 arms, they would be covered in bracelets, because I just really love them. But what drives me crazy are bracelets that don't fit right, I don't like when they're rolling off of my arm or clanking onto everything, and when I put my arm down, I don't like them to slide off. So we're going to address that with these bracelets. Then, of course, if you are already here and registered, you already have access to the leather bracelets. I'm also going to give some prizes away. I'm going to be giving away some leather, the really nice quality plain leather bracelets so that you can paint on them, and they're going to be prizes. So we're going to have a lot of stuff going on, and I'm sure there's going to be something that you'll have fun with. We're going to do some rock painting, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about rock painting. I love the mandalas that I've seen in rock painting art. Where we're going to go, though, is we're going to go with more of the pictographs, which is painting on rocks. In the ancient times, it was pictographs were used for maybe personal rites or ceremonies, vision quests, different things like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create our own little personal meanings on our rocks. And I want to talk a little bit about the rocks. The rocks that I am able to collect, I live near where there is a lot of water and a lot of rivers. And so I have access to a lot of these really soft types of little boulder type of rocks. So if you are on the lookout for them and you have some, you might want to start collecting these, because if you have at least 4 or 5 of them, these are going to be what we're gonna use to paint. Now, just to give you an idea of how much I ended up loving painting on rocks, my husband and I just came back from our 20th anniversary, yes, and we were up in Lake Tahoe, and I picked up this rock, which was right next to the front door of our cabin. And I have a plan for this to tell a little bit of a story about our trip there and what I saw. So I'm so excited, because on the back of it I'm going to put the date. And these look so pretty in my garden. And every time I walk by the ones that I've painted, I really feel like it's a special sacred place. So I encourage you that if you can do this and take a few minutes to take the class that I'm going to be offering as a gift with your registration, I hope that you'll get a chance to take some time and do some rock painting with us this summer. I have just received another 2017 DVD. This is Penny McDonald's of Spent and Aged Things. It's reflecting on the light, but all that I have left to do on this, which a lot of our pre-order students are waiting for this wonderful DVD, and then it'll go in our store. But this particular Artful Gathering DVD is it's so pretty. This is a 2-disc set. I don't know if you can see it, but this is how our DVDs are made. And once we have packaged everything, then I go through and I watch the whole thing to make sure that everything looks right before it gets to your front door. So this is Penny McDonald, and she is teaching with us. Oh my gosh, you have to see her class video, her promotional video. She's amazing. And she is teaching Aiming for the Divine, and you will absolutely love her. I just think you'll get such a blast out of her class this year too. And this one is of Spent and Aged Things, Reclaiming the Abandoned, and these will go out to our pre-order students next week. Yay! Now on the subject of DVDs, it's really funny because technology is moving so fast. So a lot of you are asking me, can you put these on USB drives? And no, we don't put them on USB drives. Our classes are not put on drives. Then there's a number of reasons why. But what I want to share with you is this is an external drive. And it's an external DVD drive, and it has a little port. It goes into the little port. I plug this into my MacBook Pro. That's my laptop. Because even though my MacBook does have a DVD drive, it doesn't, I don't know. I've had this, I've had my laptop for quite a long time, and sometimes it just keeps spitting the DVD back out. Well, I think I paid $15 for this, and I can play all my DVDs on my laptop. So if you like to move your, if you like to have your DVDs playing right where you're working, this is a good way to do it. And I just wanted to share that little tip, because every time I share it, everybody gets, oh, that's so cool. I wish I knew about that before. And that makes watching DVDs really easy, from movies to Artful Gathering DVDs. Anything that you would use a DVD on, you can, if you don't have a DVD drive in your laptop, that's all you have to do. And that does it. I think that we are all caught up. If I missed anything, oh my gosh, I hope I put it in a newsletter, because I think I've gone over a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at Artful Gathering. Leave a comment below and let me know if you have any suggestions on some upcoming things that you would like to see us do in our free videos. Bye.